A Ghost Story. So A Ghost Story is directed and written by David Lowery, and it is about a couple played by Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara. They live in this house and they are about to move, and after a car accident there is a ghost that is under a bed sheet that looks like something that a 5-year-old made on Halloween, something like Charlie Brown, and he is in this house watching Rooney Mara and others as they go through the house, and he witnesses life as it just goes by, and it seems like he's trying to find something, either closure or just a meaning to life. And this is an interesting movie. I was somewhat interested in this movie when I saw the trailer. It looked extremely unique and something that I'd never seen, so it definitely grabbed my attention. And then I saw that it was in my town, so I was like, why not? Let me go see this. And this movie is a roller coaster ride. I'm not saying that the plot of the movie is very much like a roller coaster with twists and turns. No, it's kind of a basic movie. It's an extreme slow burn movie, emphasis on slow, I'll get to that later. But emotionally, this movie felt like a roller coaster ride. I don't think there's ever been a movie where middle of the movie, I hated it. In the middle of the movie, for a good 30 minutes, I hated A Ghost Story. I wanted to walk out. It was the slowest movie I've ever been through. I felt like if I left, I wouldn't really feel anything bad about myself. I wouldn't want to see what happens. But then, at about 50 minutes into the movie, this ghost does something. And the whole movie clicked. For the next 30 minutes of the movie, I was entranced. I wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to know what would happen to this ghost because I understood the ghost's purpose. I understood what the ghost story is, and I thought that it was beautiful. I can say that the last 30 minutes of this movie, when you understand what is happening and the purpose, really helps with what you've gone through in the first 50 minutes of the movie. The beginning of the movie, the first 10 minutes, I just want to see what happened. I want to see when the plot actually kicks into this movie, and so I'm there. Then the plot kicks into the movie and I'm interested for like 10-15 minutes. And then for the next 20 minutes, it's just not slow. It is extremely dreadful drag. Nothing really happens. It's basically Rooney Mara being sad and walking slow around the house in a different position, either looking outside the window here or reminiscing over here. It's just not boring. It is dreadfully slow. And this is where the movie really turned me off. And a weird thing that the director does, while the cinematography is beautiful in its layout, everything is perfectly aligned in its 4x3 box, there are some moments, about 3 main ones, where the camera stays in a single position watching either Rooney Mara, Casey Affleck, or Rooney Mara eating a pie for 3 minutes. Extremely unnecessary, but I first noticed this when Rooney Mara and Casey Affleck were in bed together kissing, and I was okay with it, but they used one single cut. The director didn't change shots, it was one single cut of them kissing in bed. I was still okay with that, but it went on for 45 seconds to a minute. I thought that was extremely long, and didn't really have any relevance for the film, and while I was okay with long continuous shots, this one seemed off to me, and I was a bit nervous. And then there's another scene where it happens, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And then there's the pie scene. There's a scene where Rooney Mara eats a pie, and it goes on for about 3 minutes. 3 minutes of no camera movement. You just watch Rooney Mara eat a pie. If you want to see Rooney Mara eat a pie, go see A Ghost Story. And I was okay with this because during the pie scene, you see her emotions. You see how she's feeling while she's eating this pie, and it makes sense during the plot of this movie. But 3 whole minutes is extremely unnecessary. I don't want to watch her eat a pie for 3 whole minutes. But thankfully after that scene they don't really do the long extended cuts again. But this first 50 minutes of the movie I thought dragged so much it almost ruined the whole experience for me. But then when I understood the movie, in the end, I thought it was a beautiful, creepy, it's not a scary movie, but it's an emotionally creepy journey. A Ghost Story is about learning how to give up and move on with life. And I thought that David Lowery's direction for this film really escalated that, especially near the end. And this whole movie, it's very quiet. There's not a lot of dialogue at all. There's one scene where a guy has a long monologue, and this monologue is kind of basically telling the audience the point of the movie, but it was so gripping and intense. This was one of the few moments in the movie where I was invested so much. I didn't want it to let go. I want to hear what he would talk about. And while there's not much dialogue to really tell you what's happening in the movie, David Lowery's direction and style of the film really helps move this movie forward. And by the end of the movie, when you see what the ghost is about to go through, you want something to happen. You want this thing to happen, and it does, and I just felt so relieved and happy. And even though I was happy, this is not a happy movie. It's an extremely sad movie. I wouldn't say it's a depressing movie, but it's a relaxing movie, if anything. Since there's not a lot of dialogue, this movie, you can sit down and all of your stress and worries would fade away. The movie doesn't freak you out or anything. I said it's not a horror story, but watching what this ghost goes through really makes you scared for what's gonna happen later. And the artistic style, I always appreciate the artistic style of this movie, and even when the movie was at its worst during minute 35, minute 40 when I was about to walk out, I was like, hey, at least it has good style, I like the intention. But throughout the whole movie, the unique style and even the unique premise of this movie really makes it stand out more than other movies. I can't really say that A Ghost Story is like another movie I've ever seen before. But yeah, Ghost Story, this is a very interesting movie. It's not for everyone. If you're gonna watch A Ghost Story, you should have patience and you must stick around for the whole thing. It's not long, it's less than 90 minutes, so it's not like you're wasting a huge part of your life. You can sit down and you really have to absorb this movie. This movie is one that you can't just breeze through. The meaning isn't on the surface, it is layered. There's a beautiful score. I love the meaning by the end of the movie, and as I think of this movie more, it just gets better and better and better. David Lowery has amazing direction for this unique style. I love the artistic direction, but because A Ghost Story is extremely dreadful, slow that I wanted to leave midway through the movie, I can't say this is a great movie. But on the highest level I can give it, I can say that A Ghost Story is a good movie. So that's A Ghost Story. Have they seen the movie? Probably not, because, I mean, I was the only one in my theater. It's like I felt like I was the ghost. So whatever you think, you can put in the comments below and maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't, you can watch my last video right over here, and you can watch my upcoming video right over here. Right there. Thank you as always for watching. Hope to see you next time.